Ladies and gentlemen, I've waited a lot of years for this. I've been in the club, as you know, all my life.
Your life ain't finished yet.
And so far. And the one thing that's always been missing for the families is a clubhouse. And I'm very pleased to say that everybody has contributed marvellously to the clubhouse in all sorts of ways, not just money, not just doing the job and all the rest of it. And I think we have done a marvellous job collectively. I'm going to single out the guys who built it. There's 3 or 4 of them, chairs who've been the mastermind behind it, who've worked like slaves really, and I think they deserve a round of applause. I'm very much appreciative of the fact that we've got somebody of renown to open the club house, and I would just call upon Ian to introduce the gentleman.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, would you please put your hand together for Wing Commander Ken H. Wallis MBE DNHC PhD HC CNG FRAES FSET
Who's got the scissors?
I've got the scissors. Thank you all very much. It's a great pleasure and an honour to be with you here today. I've always been an enthusiastic model maker, long before, of course, anything like radio control models and so on were in. In fact, radio only had just been more or less invented when I was a young man. I remember making a crystal set, but things have progressed a long way. But certainly, even when I was young, I learned quite a bit about aerodynamics by making paper models, and then by elastic-powered model aircraft. A number of them were canard, push-up jobs. They flew very well, but you learned about centres of gravity and angles of pitch and that sort of thing. So I learned definitely on the hard way, and during the war I started to make model racing cars, because we all had Hornby train sets and so on. It occurred to me it'd be much more exciting to have cars that would race around a track, and I made the first model racing cars in 1942 and 43. Wow. Of course, I should have made a fortune. Invented something like that when you were in the RAF. Believe it or not, the patent belonged to the Crown. Even with the auto gyros, which I designed while I was in the RAF, I had to hand over the patent rights to the Crown.
Really?
But anyway, there's no question about it that making models can be very valuable. It's a way of learning to do things in full scale, and also it was very useful to illustrate a way of doing things, because I was the armament officer on the first Canberra unit. And the Canberra was a twin-jet bomber, but I can tell you it was a long way from being a bomber when I was the armament officer at Binbrook when it came in. They had a load of armament problems, but one of the problems was the fact that it had a very expensive Aldis lifting trolley to put the bombs up, but that only carried half the bomb load of a Canberra. And they were so expensive, there was only one provided between 3 Canberras. So if 3 Canberras came back from operations, it'd be ages before they'd be bombed up again to go off again. And I came up with an idea to use the old Type F bomb trolleys that were being used by farmers to move Peaksville and so on, left over in enormous numbers from World War II, to use them to transport the bombs, but to be able to transfer them to the lifting trolley on site. I came up with the idea. I had previously come up with an idea to improve the practice bomb, incidentally. And my boss at group headquarters said, Wallace, he said, you know how far you got with your practice bomb idea so far? It was 9 years before it was adopted, I might add. But he said, you make models, don't you? And the moment he said it, I knew he was right. He said, make some models to illustrate the way you're going to have the Canberra bombed up. I made the models, they went off to Bomber Command headquarters, and in no time at all I was told I had to take 10 days leave and go to the number 4 maintenance unit at Ruislip. Now, I had to be on leave because it was a union. The union wouldn't have accepted orders from a serving officer. And there I modified the prototype Aldis trolley and the Type F to my idea. But if I hadn't made the models, that would have been years, I'm sure, before it was adopted. So that was the one value of making models. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I won't take any more of your time, but I do congratulate you all for setting up this wonderful model flying club. and getting the land to use for flying and setting up the clubhouse and so on. I gather it's not been easy going, but you should have been given a grant, I think.
Well said, sir. Well said.
That's it. Yeah. So I'm very much in favour.
Thanks for that.
And I must say, the progress that's gone on over the years and the quality of the flying is absolutely amazing to me.
Yeah.
But I see the enthusiasm for it.
Good flyers. Yeah, that's great. Ken,
Right.
I'll hand you the scissors,
Yes.
but
Pop the pin out and get behind the ribbon.
favourite photographer man.
Oh yes.
You sir.
Few words, Ken.
Can I just pose you up this way? If you can lean out, that's it. That's it. Fine. And then if everyone's ready, we'll just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Ready? Yeah.
Many happy days and years.
Thank you very much.
Health and safety grant.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ken.
Great honour.
It's been great pleasure.
Thank
to have
you.
here.
I'll be on my way if it's not.
No, that's fine, Ken. Yeah?
All the best.
Thank you.
What a top bloke. Top bloke.
Absolutely.